The Bill of Rights is the collective name for the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. These amendments were ratified on December 15, 1791, just a few years after the original Constitution was written in 1787. They were created to protect the individual liberties and rights of American citizens and to limit the power of the federal government. When the Constitution was first written, many people, especially the Anti-Federalists, were concerned that it gave too much power to the central government and didn't do enough to protect the rights of ordinary people. The First Amendment came to be in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights. After the U.S. Constitution was ratified, many people, especially the Anti-Federalists, were worried that the new government might become too powerful and infringe upon individual freedoms. They were particularly concerned about the absence of explicit protections for things like freedom of speech, religion, and the press. In response to these concerns, James Madison, who is often called the father of the Bill of Rights, proposed a set of amendments to safeguard individual liberties. Madison, along with other founders, wanted to ensure that the new government would not have the power to limit or control basic freedoms. The Second Amendment's creation was influenced by the experiences of American colonists during the Revolutionary War and concerns about the power of centralized government. Before and during the Revolution, the British government imposed a strict control over the colonies, including disarming local militias and limiting the ability of colonists to protect themselves. During the war, American militias played a crucial role in fighting British troops, and many Americans believed that having the right to bear arms was essential to protect their newly won freedoms. There were two main reasons the Second Amendment was written: self-defense and individual rights, and a well-regulated militia.
The Third Amendment, added in 1791, was created as a direct response to the Quartering Act imposed by the British government before and during the American Revolution. These acts require American colonists to house and feed British soldiers in their homes, often without their consent. This practice caused widespread resentment as colonists felt it violated their policy and property rights. After the Revolution, founding fathers wanted to make sure this abuse couldn't happen under the new government. The Third Amendment was added to ensure soldiers cannot be quartered in private homes without honest consent during peacetime. The amendment was meant to protect citizens from the government's overreach and ensure their right to privacy in their own homes. The Fourth Amendment was created in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights to protect individuals from unreasonable search and seizure by the government. The main inspiration came from the colonists' experience under British rule, where British authorities often used writ of assistance to search homes, businesses, and ships without specific cause. The searches were invasive and done without judicial approval, which led to the widespread resentment. When drafting the Bill of Rights, the founders wanted to ensure the new U.S. government wouldn't have the same unchecked power and invade citizens' privacy. The Fourth Amendment was designed to require that search and seizures based on probability and cause. Warrants from judges be obtained before search could take place, except in certain emergency situations. The Fifth Amendment, added in 1791, was created to protect individuals from unfair legal practices to ensure due process under the law. Its origins stem from the abuse colonists faced during British rule, where people could imprison without trial, forced to testify themselves, or tried multiple times for the same crime. The Fifth Amendment includes several key protections. Protection against self-incrimination. People cannot be forced to testify against themselves, often referred to pleading the fifth. Protection from double jeopardy. A person cannot be tried twice for the same offense. Right to due process. The government must follow fair procedure before depriving someone of their life, liberty, and property. Protection against inimical dominant abuse. The government must pay a fair price if it takes private property for public use. The Sixth Amendment was added in 1791, was created to ensure fair trial for individuals accused of a crime. It stemmed from the unfair practice many colonies experienced under British rule, where the trials could be delayed, held in secret, or conducted without the accused knowing of the charge, having the chance to defend themselves properly. During colonial times, accused individuals were sometimes denied basic rights such as speedy trial or the ability to confront witnesses. The founders wanted to prevent this in the new republic and guarantee a more just legal system. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to speedy trial, the right to impartial jury. The Seventh Amendment, added in 1791, was created to protect the right to a jury trial in civil cases, non-criminal disputes such as property, contracts, or personal injury. During the colonial period, people were concerned that the British government and courts often handled disputes unfairly or without juries, leaving decisions of the judges or monarchs who might have their own biases. The founders wanted to ensure that in civil cases, individuals could have their disputes settled by a jury of their peers rather than just by a judge. This was important because juries could help protect people from potential government or elite bias. The Seventh Amendment guarantees that if the value in controversy exceeds a certain amount, people have the right to a jury trial in civil cases. The Eighth Amendment, added in 1791, was created to protect individuals from excessive punishment and mistreatment by the government. The founders were particularly concerned about the harsh punishments that were common during colonial times, including torture, excessive fines, and cruel or unusual punishment. Many Americans had experienced or witnessed brutal treatment under British rule, such as public hangings, torture, and severe punishment for minor offenses. The Eighth Amendment was designed to ensure that the new U.S. government would not treat its citizens in such a way. It includes two main protections: protection from cruel and unusual punishment, meaning punishment that is grossly disproportionate to the crime committed; protection from excessive bail or fines, meaning bail or fines must be reasonable and not used as a way to unfairly punish someone before their trial. This amendment reflects the founders' commitment to ensuring that justice and punishment in the U.S. would be fair and humane. The Ninth Amendment, added in 1791, was included to address concerns that the Bill of Rights might not cover every individual right. Some people worried that by listing specific rights, the government might later claim that any right not mentioned didn't exist. James Madison, who drafted the Bill of Rights, wanted to make sure people understood that the government couldn't violate rights just because they weren't listed in the Constitution. The Ninth Amendment says, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. In simple terms, just because a right is specifically mentioned in the Constitution doesn't mean it doesn't exist. This was meant to protect people's unalienable rights, like privacy or the right to travel, that weren't explicitly named but were still understood to be fundamental. The 10th Amendment, added in 1791, was created to emphasize the limits of federal power and protect states' rights. After the Constitution was written, many people feared that it gave the new federal government too much power, potentially infringing on the rights of states and individuals. The Anti-Federalists, who were skeptical of a strong central government, wanted to make sure the Constitution didn't allow the federal government to overstep its authority. The 10th Amendment was added to reassure them that any powers not specifically given to the federal government would be left to the states or the people. The amendment says, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
There were two main reasons the Second Amendment was written: self-defense and
The founders wanted to ensure the new U.S. government wouldn't The 7th Amendment, added in 1791, was created to protect the right to The 7th Amendment, added in 1791, others retained by the people. In simpler terms, just because in simpler terms, just because a right isn't specifically mentioned in